Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about credit cards again and going over a list of things that I look out for and I think are important to think about when you look at credit cards and are choosing to open a new credit card account. This is also the same general principle and guidelines, the pillars I guess you could call them, of things I look for when I do my credit card reviews or give my first impressions. These are the top couple things that you have to think about and have to compare across the board. We're going to get this started. First on the list, rewards. Now this is usually the most talked about thing for any given credit card, especially the more popular credit cards out there. And it is also one of the main selling and marketing points for banks to use to try to draw in customers to open up that certain credit card. And when you think about credit cards and which credit card you want to get, you should also think about your goals and needs for the card. Most of the highly rated credit cards with 0 to very little annual fees usually excel at one specific thing, whether it be cash back, whether it be travel, whether it be gas. They'll do one thing very, very well. So sometimes you might have a couple different credit cards in your wallet. You might use one for shopping, one for traveling, one for groceries, one for gas. That's pretty often. That's not unheard of. Or you can settle one for more general rewards. So rewards come in a lot of different tiers. We'll see credit cards geared towards more travel oriented with the Chase credit cards, great 5x points, the Freedom Flex, Freedom Unlimited, Sapphire Reserve, Sapphire Preferred, more travel oriented. Now other cards, the Citi Double Cash card, more general 2% cash back on everything. You're not getting that 5% rewards rate for traveling entertainment. It's 2% everything, more general spending. And we have more store branded credit cards, might give you coupons or discounts or other perks at that specific retailer. Amazon, 5% on Amazon purchases. You know, other retailers, Target, Walmart, Macy's, you name it. They're really good if you shop there a lot. Everything else, not as much. We also have fuel credit cards with Chevron, Shell, all the different gas stations have their own credit cards, their own programs. If you get gas and that's your favorite gas station, right, use those cards to earn rewards at those places. So I think this is the most important thing because if we're comparing cards, apples to apples, everything else is the same, but the rewards are different. Obviously, we're going to take the one with better rewards. There are other factors that may come into this decision I'll talk about later. If we have two credit cards and everything else is the same, why would you not pick the one that gives you 2% over the one that only gives you 1.5%? Right? Even if that one's convenient, the other one's the same thing, and an extra half point for free, why not take it? So that's really why people like me on the internet make videos about credit cards, people write articles about credit cards, is we're really out there trying to maximize every single point that we can squeeze out of these cards. All right, it's our money. We want to put it to work. We want to save as much as we can, get as many rewards as we can. So we like to help you guys out, make guides like this. Some things that we might have noticed that you might not have thought about, but also be sure to comment down below if there's anything that you think about that I don't touch upon on this video. Would love to hear your feedback, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on all new video uploads on credit cards, guides, everything like that. Definitely don't want to leave any money on the table. Category number 2, intro bonus. Now, along with rewards, this is another big selling point, big marketing point. You're going to see that intro offer bold font on the credit card offers, whether you get them through mail, go on the website, it's going to be right there, smack in your face, and I think is deserving and worthy of our attention because, once again, it's free things. Just like rewards where you get money back for spending, this you're getting money back for just opening the card. Most of them will have a minimum spend limit. So for example, if I can get $200 if I spend $500 within the first 3 months, usually pretty doable. But some of the other ones that are more valuable, 20,000 points, 50,000 points, 100,000 points, you might have to spend $3,000 to $5,000 in the first couple months. Those are usually targeted towards the more premium customers. But before you open it just for that sign-up bonus, make sure you can actually meet those minimum requirements. You don't want to go out there and spend extra money just to get that intro bonus. The math doesn't work out there because at the end of the day, you're still spending more than you would have. So only if this is something you would normally spend your money on, go for that bonus. And when we look at rewards, especially for that first year, if you don't spend a lot of money, you might not be getting that much money back in rewards. For example, if we look at a general 2% cashback card, if you only spent a couple $1,000s a year, you're not going to be getting hundreds and thousands of dollars in rewards. But if that card comes with a nice intro bonus, throws you a couple $100s, that can really boost that rewards rate for the first year and help you out just by opening the account. So once again, if we have two cards, the same rewards, everything else is the same. One has a $500 intro bonus, the other one, no intro bonus. Obviously, we're going to go with the one with an intro bonus. And don't sleep on these bonuses because, as I said, they can be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars if used correctly and if you're able to get them. So this might not be the first thing that draws you towards the card, but close number two, deserving of the marketing attention. It's free money as long as you using your card responsibly. And the third category, the details of the card. Now we're really getting into the nitty-gritty, the semantics of the card. We're reading the contract and going over all of the fees, the APR, all of the stuff that we really would not like to care about but are there and can really bust our butts if we don't look at it and we get hit with hundreds of dollars of fees, because despite whatever rewards they're offering, whatever intro bonus they're offering, if you use your card carelessly, don't pay attention to the fees, don't pay attention to the APR. That's how the banks get you. They're hoping you do that. So the rewards that they give you are actually going to be paid off by you using this card carelessly and racking up hundreds of dollars in fees. So the first fee, the annual fee. There are a lot of awesome cards out there with no annual fee, but as we go up the ladder, we look at some of the better cards with $95 annual fee, up to $600 a year annual fee or more. Those cards are absolutely loaded, rewards to the max, right? Airport lounges, free delivery, free food every month, free streaming, whatever it may be. It does come at a cost. And once again, they're hoping that you're not going to pay attention enough to the card. You're not going to maximize all the perks out of it to actually make up for that annual fee. So if you are choosing a card with an annual fee, think about if you're going to be able to spend enough or use enough of the benefits to justify the price. This is important because when we have an annual fee, and assuming that you want to keep this card in your wallet for the long run, your credit length does make up a portion of your credit score. You're going to have to pay this fee year over year every year. Some may be waived for the first year, but if we're thinking about the next 5-10 years, the first year doesn't matter all that much. So since this is a reoccurring fee, we also don't expect most people to have more than a couple annual fee credit cards in their wallet at any given time. Pay attention to the fee and choose wisely. Number two, APR. I mentioned it earlier. We always would try to, in a perfect world, pay our statements off in full on time every single month, but I get it. Things happen out there. Sometimes we might have to have a balance. So just look at the annual fee, what the range is, what your APR is, and be cognizant of it because some cards might have a higher fee than others. So if you find yourself in this situation, you might want to go for a card with a lower fee, save you some money, because that 10, 20, 30% APR really hurts. The opposite of retirement savings, compounding interest. Well, yeah, your debt is going to compound 20% year over year. That's not going to be a fun thing for you to deal with. So use this card responsibly, know what it is, and if you have to pay it, be sure to take that into account in your budgeting. 3, late fees. Once again, we would hope that we can pay our balances on time, and the late fees combined with your minimum payment is important to know, because if you can't make the whole payment, you should at least try to make the minimum payment on time so you can avoid any late fees and you can avoid any bad marks to your credit reports if you have any late or delinquent payments. So if you're able to find out that minimum payment amount ahead of time before you apply, definitely take a look, and if this applies to you, you might want to consider if this is the right card for you. The next category I would consider supplementary features. So these are things that are outside of the rewards, of the intro bonus, things that card issuers tack on. So things you could get with a Visa Signature or a MasterCard World Elite or even higher tiers of cards. Things such as extended warranties, purchase protection, travel insurance, baggage insurance, cell phone protection, rental car reimbursement, so on and so forth. You've probably seen a laundry list of these things out there. And for most people, if you don't travel, you don't really buy a lot of things, this might not be super useful for you. But once again, if I have two cards, one card with all of these features, all of these extra perks, and one card without, then why on earth would I elect to go without these features, right? Something can always happen with your purchases. It's just the peace of mind. It might not be the easiest process. You might have to fight some people on the way to get your claim in and to get that insurance paid out, but I'd rather have it than not. And in this category, I would also add on the technology platforms of these banks or cards. We know a lot of credit cards or banks have pretty janky apps and honestly not the easiest to use, but a card or a bank with an awesome mobile experience could really be a lifesaver. And now more than ever, we spend so much of our lives on our phones, right? Everything's moving. We're looking at things on the go. So if there's a really nice, sleek app, all the information is right there to use. They have charts. I can track my spending, or if I'm trying to budget, I'm trying to save, I'm trying to build up my credit, I can see what I'm spending my money on. I can target that, as opposed to a clunky app that takes forever to load, or a website that's really clunky. I can't really find anything, can't use it. Credit card with a great app, great online experience. Credit card without, everything else the same, going for that app. Not the most important thing in the world, but something to think about. And following up on that, the customer service experience. So once again, we always hope nothing's going to happen. We're never going to want to reach out, but if something does go wrong, if we do need to get something fixed, we want somebody with a reputation of helping the customers out, not being a pain to deal with. I know certain card issuers have a reputation for being better or worse. Certain cards might be better or worse with different banks. So another thing to think about when deciding between cards. And the last category, the intangibles. People always talk about in sports, the intangibles, stuff you can't teach, stuff you can't have. Sometimes you may have an existing relationship or some other tie to a certain financial institution, bank or credit card issuer, that you may just want to get a card with them because it's convenient, or maybe they're offering you other convenience features. For example, with local credit unions or with a bank you've been with for a long time, with stores, you might already have that existing relationship. So these things have nothing to do with the rewards, nothing to do with the banks. You might just get it because you feel like you want it. And that's also okay. Some people might also really hate certain banks. They really hate those institutions for whatever reason, whatever social reasons or economic reasons. They just do not want to do any business with them. If you have an issue with large global banks, you might find that a lot of those rewards credit cards offered by those banks might not be accessible to you. And lastly, when you're thinking about credit cards, be realistic about your chances if you're actually going to be able to qualify. If you're an 18-year-old high school student, no credit history, trying to apply for the Amex Platinum, you're probably going to get denied and have hard inquiry on your credit report. Do some research online. There are a ton of resources, people to talk to, giving you a range of credit scores that are generally accepted. These will always vary from person to person, application to application, but just be realistic with your chances when you're doing your research. So this was a quick list of things that I came up with when looking at credit cards. As I said earlier in the video, let me know down in the comments below if there's anything else that you pay attention to, anything I missed. I would love to discuss or make a follow-up video. And be sure to stay subscribed to the channel to get all future videos, content updates, credit card updates, news updates, all that good stuff. Like the video if you thought this was useful, helped you in your credit card search. Thanks for watching. Peace.